Well, as Colin said, we had 2 matches at home this weekend, and the first thing I'll say is thank you to the crowd. We had great crowds on both Tuesday and Saturday. I was really worried about Tuesday just because it's a high school volleyball night, but we still had a great turnout, so thank you for that support. I look at both the matches pretty similar. The differences in South Dakota State, we had some inconsistency. We played a really good first 2 games and beat them pretty handedly. And then the next 2 games, we lost by 2 points and won by 2 points, so a lot closer. And then in the Drake games, I felt we started off strong at the beginning of all 3 games and then kind of let up at the end. And I really tried to evaluate, kind of what's going on. And I think part of what happened on both those nights is we seem to do a good job of coming out and having a really good execution of our game plan. And then when the other team starts playing better, like both teams did on Tuesday and Saturday, I thought both teams really picked up their defense, and then the things that we were doing weren't necessarily working. I think it kind of forces us into making mistakes that we wouldn't normally make. We get a little bit impatient instead of just kind of hanging in there and staying the course, changing the game plan a little bit and executing on that side. So would really like to see us do a little bit better job with the unforced errors, and I've talked about that a few times up there. The example of that would be against South Dakota State. In those first 2 games, we had 7 errors in the 2 games, and then in the 3rd and 4th game, I think it was 19 errors. So a huge difference, and I think, again, it's just getting a little bit impatient. The ball's not going, so we get a little bit more impatient and probably hit shots we don't have. So really need to grow a little bit in that area. So our kids can do it. We just need to get an opportunity to get in and practice and work on some different shots and things like that. But really proud of the effort. Just, again, working at getting a little bit more consistent. I would also like to point out we had our golf outing on Sunday. Everybody knows that yesterday was a really crappy day. I look outside right now and I'm so jealous. But I said this at the golf outing. We had over 130 golfers, and I bet you 90% plus finished the entire round, and those that didn't finish at least hung in there for 4 or 5 hours. And I know we have great supportive fans, but that was above and beyond the Call of Duty. It was really miserable outside, but they either still had a really good time or they faked it really well, and we talk about that as players. So thank you for that support. It was really a great day. Our kids were out there too, interacting, and they were really positive and still had a good time. So thank you for that. As Colin said, we have a very challenging week coming up, 3 conference matches, 3 important conference matches, and all 3 of them are on the road. We have Bradley tomorrow night, and then Evansville on Friday, and Southern on Saturday. And all 3 teams have been playing really well. Bradley is 3-2, and they actually upset Southern Illinois last weekend. And then Evansville has only 1 win, and that's against Bradley. But they've played other teams close. And then Southern is a team that was picked to do really well in the conference, and they started off a little slow, but this last weekend they were at Wichita and at Missouri State. They played Wichita a tight 3 games. I think it was 23-25, 23-20, and 23-21 at Wichita, and then they did upset Missouri State on Missouri State's home court. So 3 very good teams, 3 very different teams. We have coaches watching a lot of video, obviously, because the challenge for us is trying to prepare for 3 matches and also to try to keep our kids as fresh as possible. So another challenging practice week for us, but definitely a challenging week on the court as well. So we're looking forward to it. I know our kids are deep in the thick of the conference, and looking forward to getting better in the matches when we don't have opportunities to do that in practice. So a good challenging week, but we're looking forward to it. Any questions?